Reliable, compact luxury SUVs are a very popular genre right now. Why? Because you get the latest technology, the best performance, great styling, all of the amenities, and you can live like a king and queen of England tucked behind that wheel. The reality is, because they're compact, they're also great on fuel. With soaring fuel costs, everybody wants some of that. So the reality is, unfortunately, there's some bad ones out there too, and some that will keep you in the black. But I'm going to share a list of 10 very reliable, some of the most reliable compact SUVs in the luxury car segment. Let's get into it now. Life's too short to drive boring cars. So firstly, I want to start by saying I'm going to have some really exciting driving type of subcompact or compact SUVs in the market as well in this list. But currently, we're going to go with safe, that everybody realizes this particular car brand or manufacturer is safe and known for reliability right here. What do we have here? Well, we're looking at a Lexus. Clearly, you know, the big Lexus brand, they have the big grille all over the place. They got the latest and greatest, all kinds of little detail along the front like that. Beautiful wheels, laser cut all the way around. And look, LC500 mirrors, one-touch accent restyled. And look, glass on the roof. Yes, and you got those luggage racks. Beautiful. Beautiful updated style of rear LED taillights, and look at the new logo for Lexus. This one is an NX 450h, that's right, it's a hybrid. And it's got some great detail along the bottom edge there, and it's a great looking vehicle all the way around. What about the inside? Lexus is really stepping up the program with the infotainment systems, the luxury seating, and all the other soft touch surfaces. It's absolutely gorgeous and economical. Over here we have an NX 350 all-wheel drive, which is standard on the 350. You can also get a 250, and they all have different engines. So the base model is an NX 250, which essentially is Toyota's base Camry engine. It has that wonderful 2.5-liter engine, naturally aspirated, makes 203 horsepower, ultra reliable workhorse. Literally almost nothing can go wrong with it. Then as you step up into the 350, like we look right here, it's the 350 version. It's actually a turbocharged 2.4 liter, and it comes with the all-wheel drive system. Also very reliable in recent years. Lexus has really stepped up their game, and a lot of people say turbocharging's not reliable. Kind of depends who's building it, right? Levels of boost and the design go into a big part of how reliable a turbo engine can be, and the latest turbo engines from Lexus are certainly quite stout. They also feature an 8-speed automatic transmission, so they're easy and quiet, nice to live with. So Lexus NX of any variation, whether you want the base engine, turbo engine, hybrid versions, there's lots of options, and they're all very, very reliable. And the next one on the list might be a little controversial, but what we're talking about is a German hot rod right here, and this one is for Mercedes, the 3-pointed star. Now what we have here is certainly a subcompact or compact SUV, as it were, but did you realize Cars.com said about 84% of people that own these would certainly buy them again? So the customer satisfaction is quite high, and that speaks and is quite telling. But let's take a quick look. What we're looking at is they've got the beautiful style of taillights, LED standout on this GLC 300, and it's a 4MATIC, so it's all-wheel drive as standard. Look down here, you get these beautiful exhaust tips and that beautiful nice splitter down there, and of course protective gear here keeps things nice and the paint shiny so you don't get all the rocks and battering all over the paintwork. Beautiful one-touch accesses, press that in and in you go. Down up here you have a large glass panel that works very, very well, reliably, and beautiful mirror that tuck away every single time. Love these absolute gorgeous laser cut type wheels, and look, details, more details, and those wonderful LED headlights on this 3-pointed star. Beautiful GLC 300. Now the latest version of this features a 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine, makes a combined horsepower effort about 252 horsepower, and it's actually a 48-volt mild hybrid system as well equipped in this vehicle. Now they're very durable. I personally own a 2018 C300, which has the same chassis, same 9-speed transmission, and the same 2-liter turbo engine, and it's been very rugged, very robust, starts in extremely northern Arctic type temperatures, starts reliably in hot weather, runs quietly, smoothly. The only thing I might add is the odd cosmetic feature. We had a door panel come slightly loose, pop out. We actually had a door speaker that came out, had to take it back to the dealer, and I would anticipate things like that may be a little fragile on the cosmetic perspective, but Mercedes is creating some of the most cosmetically enticing or appealing vehicles that you can find in this marketplace, and clearly the GLC 300 is one that's relatively reliable, easy to use, and very stylish. And the third, actually very compact, very reliable, and fun and sporting little SUV that you can drive around and have lots of fun with. Just can't deny the way these vehicles look. What is this exactly? Here, take a look. Well, look, you have these beautiful, bubbly looking headlights, quite different, and it's an Acura. Of course, they do have these great grills, and of course, look, a nice detail there. More detail with the little fog lamps. More sharp sporting detail. This vehicle looks like a sports car. Look, go down the side. Beautiful gunmetal gray style painted rims. Beautiful by Acura. This one's an A-spec, and look, fold-away mirrors, but little LED strip on there. Love those handles. One-touch access. And look at down here. Look at the way it indents. Absolutely very gorgeous looking vehicle. And on top, you have a large glass sunroof on top to illuminate all of the interior for all the happy little people that are riding around in this unit. Of course, circle around, and what we're looking at here, LEDs. Beautiful. RDX, that's right. Shh. It's an all-wheel drive. And look, beautiful tips. Not many vehicles these days use a real tip. Look at that. And look at that splitter along the bottom. Legitimate exhaust tips. A lot of vehicles, you're just not seeing it today. And look at that overhang at the back. Very good looking vehicle. And the interior looks quite sharp too. Looks like a little space shuttle inside. Not quite up to the same stats as the Lexus and BMWs of the world, but it does very, very well. Thank you very much. And this gorgeous RDX comes at a base price of about $41,000. And the beauty is it has a very rapid and blistering acceleration for other vehicles when you compare it to others in its segment for base models. 4-cylinder turbocharged engine here makes a blistering 272 horsepower. Not Ferrari standards, but for an SUV on the subcompact size, this thing gets you around very briskly. And it does so with the Honda levels of reliability, because let's not forget, Acura is essentially the big luxury brother of Honda. And how can you go wrong with a Honda or Lexus or any of those types of brands? So you literally will find one of the most reliable, fun, sporting, and attractive size SUVs on the market right here as number 3, the Acura RDX. And there's the next one that's actually quite reliable, and one of those picks that I would throw out there for a lot of people looking for one of the best sporting, luxurious, and reliability perspectives in the compact or subcompact SUV segment. This is it. This is one of the greater ones just because it handles like it's on rails. It drives like a sports car, but clearly you have a little more practicality with the SUV configuration. But let's look at it. Yeah, you have the beautiful headlights, and these are the LED headlights right there by BMW. As you can tell, it is a BMW, and they do have the larger style grills on this car. And obviously, as we circle around, you have nice little details there, and a great profile in the front. It looks very bullnose and strong like a fist. Look at that. Boom, boom. Beautiful wheels, obviously laser cut style. Nice little rocker, color rocker painted here. And of course, we have easy access in there, one touch to get in. Beautiful roof racks to haul your dumpster projects. And of course, you have lots of glass on top to give you lots of illumination inside there. So there's lots of bright white, and it's just a great vehicle all the way around. You have LED tail lights here. And look, 1, 2 beautiful tailpipes. As you can see, they're legitimate, they're real deal. A lot of vehicles now forego a lot of that just for that cheap facade. But as mentioned, this is the BMW X1, and this one's the xDrive 28i. What's the interior like? Well, BMW does what BMW does. The materials are always high quality, well wearing. The iDrive system's one of the best, as they're the pioneer in the business, and everything just works as it should. The ergonomics are great, and it's a comfortable vehicle. Now we have to mention, this has the 2-liter turbo 4-cylinder engine, pops out about 228 horsepower, makes it peppy, 0 to 60 in about 6.5 seconds. And as I said, it handles well, it brakes well. I actually had an X2, which is its sport compact, or the smaller shrunken version of the same chassis and engine configuration. I had it for a summer on loan last year, and I absolutely loved it. It drives well, it's great, it's attractive, and it's just fun. So these are highly suggested to get if you're looking for an affordable subcompact styles SUV. Now this one here starts around $36,000 US, but they are just a lot of fun in a lot of simple ways. Not a lot to go wrong, as it's somewhere down on lowering on the pecking order for BMW means that there's just less to fail. You don't have air ride suspension like in the X5s or X6 vehicles. The X7s take everything to a new level. But if you want the practicality of an SUV, but you don't want all the failure modes, this is it. This engine too in the late model with the B48 is absolutely bulletproof as opposed to some of their older generational engines. Some of their older engines like the N20 or N47s, they had problem areas galore. This latest engine in the 4-cylinder format or its upscale 6-cylinder format as you step into the X3 is also a little gem. So the BMW X1, definitely for the win. And another one on my list is this unit right here. Clearly one of their hot rod trademark vehicles. You see lots of these around. And what actually is this? Well, again, it's a BMW, as we talked about in some of the other ones. As you can see, BMW all the way around. This one is an X3, specifically M40i. Now, what's special about that M40i, other than you get these beautiful exhaust tips there and nice two-tone finishing, LED taillights, beautiful slope back there, and of course I love those wheels. But look, they have these blue calipers and all kinds of great trademark finishing along the side. Nice detail there, and little M badging on this particular model. You have LED headlights and of course all kinds of detail there, and beautiful. I love these grills. Still kind of contemporary, still sort of conventional BMW. This is a great looking vehicle, and it's somewhat reliable too. Carbon fiber mirrors, and of course lots of glass on top. Interior is chock full of technology, the latest iDrive system, 12-inch display, Apple CarPlay, and the works. But the beauty is this vehicle actually comes with the infamous B58 turbocharged 3-liter 6-cylinder engine, and it's ruthlessly reliable. That all made it up to the ZF 8-speed auto, shifts lightning quick. That engine is finally the departure from unreliability to take BMW to a whole new echelon. So many improvements on that engine makes this B58 and that 40 Series X3 a reliable workhorse. You can also get the base engine with 250 horsepower and a 4-cylinder, and as well there's an M version with over 500 ponies. The X3 is a winner from performance, handling, looks, as well as reliability. Another very reliable and fun and frivolous type of vehicle in the subcompact or compact SUV market is this little hot rod here, draped in white. What is this? Well, it's an Audi, obviously, and it has this beautiful red calipers right there. Oh, look at that high gloss definition down at the very bottom for that rocker. And look, such fine detail. Look at the detailing on the fitment of the panels. It's absolutely sharp and impeccable. One-touch access there as well as there. And look at this big high gloss piano finishing on this mirror here. Of course, you have this beautiful LED. Down around here, typical in Audi format, you have these wonderful LED headlights and this nice little detailed cluster right here. Big bold grille right there, big mouth saying chomp chomp chomp, and this is the SQ5 right there. Beautiful vehicle. It actually has a great stance, looks like it's clamping down and ready for action. Look down here, they have these beautiful sight lines all the way down here, and the interior is still one of the best in the business. Absolutely gorgeous seats, quilted stitching, and absolutely the best of the best right here in your front of your very eyes. Of course, right here you have this beautiful luggage rack to haul your roach-infested mattress to the dumpster. And here, of course, look at these beautiful LEDs, high gloss, nicely rounded, nicely contoured. Again, SQ5 here, and look at the quad tailpipes there, legit, straight in there. Very, very nice vehicle. More details, and just a great look all the way along. You have more sight lines on the hood there. This is a beautiful, beautiful SUV, and it doesn't just look good, it actually is very reliable. It gets a rating of about 4.6 out of 5 for customer satisfaction, and overall reliability is rated at 4.4 out of 5. That's right, this is much more reliable, even more so than the Q5, which is the base version of this. This is the one you want to have. Also, it has a 3-liter turbocharged engine, and it's a V6, and guess what? 350 horsepower, 0 to 60, 4.8 seconds. It's blisteringly quick, fun to drive, handles like it's on rails, and trust me when I say, because I know people that own these, they are superlatively comfortable. Great vehicles. The SQ5 by Audi, a must-see and a must-have. And here's another smaller SUV that you definitely have to give a look. If you're going to spend the money in the luxury car segment, you definitely want to give these a closer look. What we have here is a Porsche, obviously. What is it? Well, this one's a Macan, and this features a turbo 4-cylinder engine. Here we have a Macan S. It's a turbo 2.9-liter V6. Both of them with 7-speed double clutch transmissions. Makes them actually some of the best driving experiences in these smaller SUV segments. These drive almost as good as a 911, minus slightly lighter steering and slightly higher elevation. Driver's perspective is great. These vehicles are amazing. As you'll see, this vehicle, you have these big, beautiful tips here. Of course, it's a little simpler layout than you're looking at here with the S, where you have a set of quad tips over there. It's a beautiful vehicle, no matter which configuration. You do have a bigger set of wheels here, laser cut, nice little handles. Of course, there are lots of glass on the roof, and the interior makes you feel like you're in a jet fighter. Of course, more access there, and look at the big fold-away mirrors. Right there, big, bold. I love these headlights. Kind of looks like the Porsche Boxster right there, very similar, but it's clearly part of the family of Porsche right there. You have the big, bold front grille here, and of course, as we cycle over to more of the base model, you can see it's a slightly simpler. You have closed-off vents here. But on the S, you have big cooling ducts right here for that big power plant. 375 horsepower there, and quite a bit less here. But either way, you can get lots of different forms from the base model to an S, GTS, as well as a middle model T. And then you just scale all your features down from there. Now you can get into these for $50,000 and change to get into the base model, and it just scales up. Almost the sky's the limit. But clearly, with some of the best performances available, these are a must look. Now, you must realize these also aren't phenomenally reliable. It's not quite in Lexus territory or Acura, but it's clearly closer to the BMW level, and this is considered average by most ratings. So it's an average level of reliability. You shouldn't expect too many issues with these. When they break, they're costly. So it's a Porsche, you will expect that, but they're not an extraordinarily unreliable vehicle. As a matter of fact, they are quite durable and quite reliable and well known for their build quality. So you won't go too bad with one of these. A Porsche Macan, definitely for a win as well. And there's the next one that's actually considered quite reliable. And what we have here is clearly the three-pointed star, as you can see right there. This is the older generation. If you look behind there, there's a black one. There is a new generation. Let's take a quick look here first. Of course, you have the big pointed star, and of course, I love these headlights that Mercedes is doing. They're clearly punching above their weight class. They look much better than most of their competitors. Yeah, you've got the little fake vents there and some fake chrome along the front, but it definitely looks slick. You do have some nice sight lines down here, nice detail, typical Mercedes look and mirror. And of course here, two-tone, looks sharp. Glass sunroof on top, chrome detail up there, and as well, laser cut wheels. Looks gorgeous. Look at these bottom tailpipe situations right there. Absolutely looks wonderful. With this brushed chrome look here. Taillights just popping. This is a GLA 250. Nice chrome detail just about everywhere. This is a 4MATIC, meaning it's all-wheel drive, but the thing you have to know with this particular generation of vehicle, the fact that the interior is quite stripped down from even a C-Class. When you go from the GLC down to GLA, you lose the rear-wheel drive bias. This becomes more of a front-wheel drive bias, but we'll pick up the rear wheels as needed because it's in 4MATIC. And the same typically goes over here. Here's a newer generation, also 4MATIC, and here's a GLA 250. Very much the same, but a newer generation vehicle. Yeah, more detail there and more chrome along the bottom here. I love these tailpipes here. Look at that. Wonderful. Tail lights, gorgeous. And that rear overhang is sharp too. Laser cut wheels, and of course two-tone there just sparks it up real nice. Different style of mirror. Of course, you'll notice we have a different style of headlight now. Mercedes has gone to slightly restyle and revamp. Their new configuration, their new style of vehicles goes more to this look here. As you can see, the rounded detail at the front, this looks more deviating towards what the electrified family lineup is looking like in the modern day Mercedes-Benz. Clearly, it's an overall redo. Of course, you do have these beautiful front grille down here, and the detail makes it look somewhat sporty. How about the interior? Well, it's quite a step up, as you have that full-size screen that goes left to right for the driver, and the gauges are all incorporated electronically, as well as the heating vents are quite sharp, and there's a lot more brushed aluminum going on the interior. And according to whatcar.com, these vehicles rank third for the most reliable and most practical for family type vehicles. Of course, 94% is where they actually rank. So they're relatively reliable. There's minimal going on there. They're a simpler platform. And while clearly they're Mercedes and the complexity is up, the reliability is actually quite stout. Older models, you might find a few issues. Airbag related, few leaks. You might also have some oil leaks. They had a camshaft problem in the first earlier generation of this particular vehicle. And of course, you had different electronic problems, sunroof issues. But a lot of those issues were solved after several redos year on year. And now it's to a point where this model is actually quite dependable. And there's the next one right here in front of us. We have another cute little Lexus in spot number 9. And yes, these are ultra reliable. Everybody can recognize it's a Toyota product, Lexus, known for the reliability, but this one's got something a little bit different going for it. It's a very small vehicle. It's essentially competing with the likes of the BMW X1 and of course many others in that really small subcompact territory. What are we looking at here? Well, it's an attractive, cute little detailed vehicle. Let's look at a few details and I'll explain kind of some of the particulars. Let's look. Of course, it's a Lexus. It's pretty standard fare to see that type of front end on it. You do have that big mouth grille, pretty traditional for Lexus brand. And of course, we have those beautiful checkmark style headlights, little details on the front, more detail on the front. And from the side, the car looks very sporty and aggressive. It has that big chin going on there, big vents. Of course, beautiful laser cut wheels here, but they're smaller than most. Of course, we've got this particular strange looking detail around the fender well, and of course even more so at the back fender when you see it sort of juts up, squares off here, and it looks a little bit different than most. But there you go, that gives it away. You have nice metallic black paint here, one touch access to get in, and of course LC500. You can see the family heritage right there. Of course, I love this style. Look at this. This is really nice. You do have an oversized sunroof there, and all of the luxury amenities you could possibly ask for in a modern day luxury vehicle. Yes, it has these beautiful little taillights and all-wheel drive UX 250h. And that means this vehicle is a hybrid. It's primarily front-wheel drive, although you can get it in all-wheel drive as an upgrade. It's a hybrid, and it makes a combined output of 181 horsepower. That's right, 181 horsepower. 0 to 60, it's about 8.5 seconds. And the transmission is actually a CVT, which is probably one of the least sporty of the bunch I'm sharing with you. Clearly, Lexus leans more to the reliability versus the practical and performance side of it. But it's a beautiful vehicle, and starting around $35,000, $36,000 US, it represents a good bang for buck. And it's clearly not the biggest vehicle. It's not meant for large, sprawling families, but it's great for city dwellers, young professionals, or maybe people, smaller families just looking to get around and zip around. It's a great vehicle, beautiful interior, as I'll show you right now. Quite sharp looking, still made of nice materials, but quite dressed down from some of the other models. So the Lexus UX 250h, clearly one you need to consider if you're looking for a smaller, affordable, and reliable small compact SUV. The next one's a VAG special right here, or I mean VAG, so that's a Volkswagen Audi group. Right here, yes, this is a great looking little vehicle, and actually it's got a pretty solid dependability rating. As a matter of fact, Consumers Report says it's average, and that's ranking it across the board with every mid-size or smaller subcompact SUV. So it's doing quite well considering it's a luxury vehicle, and often they aren't as reliable. And what we have here is this beautiful little unit wrapped in blue. Well, it's not actually a wrapped factory color. It does have the Audi projector lamps there and the big mouth grille. And it's quattro, so it gives you the infamous all-wheel drive system right there. Of course, you do have some beautiful details there and laser cut type rims. And naturally, you see this nice detail on the rocker panels here, circle around, and I love that line here. Look at that special little detail that goes right there. Very cool. You've got that brushed chrome look there, and beautiful LED taillights. Again, quattro, lots of sensors everywhere, and it's the Q3. Beautiful. Of course, you do have that stout little back end. It is a stout, sporty little SUV or crossover. Sits up quite high, so it's going to give you a bit of a rougher ride. And the interior is probably one of the best in this whole class of subcompact SUVs. Lots of glass on top and this beautiful little roof rack. Look at that little shark fin there too. Beautiful vehicles. Yes, they come equipped with an 8-speed automatic transmission, sometimes hard shifting, but they're great. They're very more geared towards the sporting intent. Of course, all-wheel drive system, turbocharged 4-cylinder, makes about 228 horsepower, and 0 to 60 in about 6.5 seconds, makes it a very spirited drive. It's a great vehicle, packed with lots of features, and clearly one of the best vehicles with a decent reliability record in the luxury car small segment if you're looking for a vehicle and a deal. And with all of that said, right there, everybody, check it out. Some of the worst SUVs you would not want to touch with a 30-foot pole. They're so unreliable and they just won't last. That video is very popular as well. Right there, check it out. That's your way to get some swag for ECPP as well. You can do your part to help support the channel. Hope to see each and every one of you on the next one. We'll see you real soon. Bye-bye.